In the year 2145, humanity explored the stars. People traveled across the galaxy, discovering new worlds and meeting new species. Aboard the exploration vessel Endeavour, Captain Lucas Reed led a crew of brave explorers. They were a mix of scientists, engineers, and pilots, all eager to learn about the universe. One day, while scanning a remote planet called 07, the ship detected a strange signal. It was weak and garbled, but it seemed to be a distress call. Lucas felt a rush of excitement. "This could be important," he said to his crew. "Prepare for landing." The ship's science officer looked at the readings on her console. "The signal is coming from the other side of the planet. It looks like a crash site." She turned to Lucas, her eyes wide with curiosity. Lucas nodded. "Gather a team. We need to investigate." He chose Maya and two other crew members, Ben and Tara, to join him. They suited up and prepared for the shuttle launch. As they descended towards the surface, the atmosphere shifted. The skies were dark and stormy, making it hard to see. "It's not a friendly place," Ben remarked, peering out of the shuttle window. "I hope whoever sent that signal is okay." The shuttle landed with a thud, and the crew stepped outside. They were in a rocky area, surrounded by strange plants and debris. The air was thick and heavy. They followed the signal, which led them to a more open space, littered with the remains of a shattered ship. Lucas felt a mix of worry and determination. "Stay alert," he said. "We don't know what we might find." As they approached the wreckage, they saw signs of struggle. The ship had been damaged badly, and there were no signs of life. "Over here," Maya shouted. She pointed to a small figure lying near the wreckage. The crew rushed forward and found an alien woman. She had green skin and large, bright eyes. Clothes were torn, and she looked weak and frightened. "Is she alive?" Tara asked, kneeling beside the alien. Lucas checked for a pulse and found one, faint but present. Relief washed over him. "We need to get her back to the ship," Lucas said. "She's hurt." They carefully lifted the alien and brought her to the shuttle. As they flew back to the Endeavour, Lucas couldn't help but wonder who she was and where she came from. Once aboard, the medical team took the alien to the sickbed. Maya stayed close, curious about the strange creature. They placed her on a bed and began to treat her injuries. While they worked, the alien slowly opened her eyes. She looked around, confused and scared. "Easy now," Maya said softly. "You're safe here. We're not going to hurt you." The alien blinked, trying to understand the words. She looked at Maya with a mix of fear and hope. "What's your name?" Lucas asked gently, kneeling beside her. The alien hesitated, then whispered something in a language they could not understand. "Do you have a way to communicate?" Maya suggested. "Need to find a way to understand each other." She activated a translation device that could help bridge the language gap. After a few moments, the alien spoke again. This time her words came through the device. "I am Zira," she said, her voice trembling. "From the planet Kalara. I was on a mission when we were attacked." Lucas felt a surge of empathy for Zira. "We're sorry you went through this," he said. "You're safe now. We want to help you." Zira's eyes widened, and she looked at Lucas as if she could not believe what she was hearing. "Help," she repeated, her voice soft. "No one helps my kind anymore." Lucas felt a knot tighten in his stomach. He wanted to show her that not all beings were cruel. Maya offered Zira some water. As she drank, the tension in her shoulders began to ease. "Thank you," Zira said, her voice stronger now. "I thought I was alone." Lucas exchanged glances with Maya. "You are not alone anymore," he promised. "We will protect you." Zira's eyes shone with tears, a mix of relief and sadness. She had lost her crew, and the pain was clear on her face. As Zira rested, the crew gathered to discuss their next steps. They wanted to learn more about Zira and her people. Maya was eager to understand her technology, while Lucas focused on keeping Zira safe from any further threats. "Do you think we can contact her people?" Ben asked. "If they're still out there, they might be in danger too." Lucas nodded. We need to find a way to send a signal, but first, we need to gather information from Zira. He returned to Zira's side, sitting down in a chair next to her bed. Can you tell us more about what happened? He asked gently. Zira took a deep breath, her eyes reflecting the pain of her memories. My people were explorers, searching for new worlds. We found Sierra 7, but then the Empire attacked. They wanted our technology, tried to escape, but they were too strong. Her voice broke as she spoke, and Lucas felt a deep sadness for her situation. What kind of technology? Maya asked, her interest piqued. Zira hesitated, but then nodded, realizing she could trust them. Our ships can manipulate energy fields. It is a gift from my ancestors, but it is also dangerous in the wrong hands. Lucas listened carefully, understanding the weight of her words. We will help you find a way to use it for good, he promised. You can trust us. Zira looked at him, her expression softening. For the next few days, the crew worked together to learn more about Zira and her technology. Maya spent hours in the lab with Zira, trying to understand how her energy manipulation worked. Lucas kept a close watch, ensuring Zira felt safe and supported. As they worked, Zira began to open up more. She shared stories about her home planet, the beauty of its landscapes, and the culture of her people. The crew listened, fascinated by her tales. Zira's spirit, once dimmed by fear, began to shine again as she found friendship among the humans. One evening, while they shared a meal, Zira smiled for the first time. Thank you for showing me kindness, she said. I never expected this from humans. Lucas smiled back, feeling a sense of pride in his crew. Kindness is what connects us all, he replied. No matter where we come from, Zira nodded. Her heart lighter than it had been since the attack. She felt a glimmer of hope, something she thought she had lost forever. As the days passed, Zira grew stronger. The crew felt a sense of unity with her, and Lucas knew they were forming a bond that could change everything. Together, they began to plan how to confront the Empire and protect Zira's people. This was just the beginning of their journey together. As the days passed aboard the Endeavor, Zira began to feel more at home. The crew treated her with kindness and respect, and she started to trust them. Captain Lucas Reed and Science Officer Maya worked hard to help her feel safe. It included her in discussions about their plans for the future. One morning, Lucas gathered the crew in the main briefing room. Zira sat at the table, still a little nervous but eager to participate. We need to figure out how to help Zira's people, Lucas said. The Empire that attacked them may still be looking for her. We have to act quickly. Maya nodded. Tapping her tablet, Zira has told us about her technology. If we can learn to use it, we might be able to protect her people and defend ourselves. Zira looked at them, her eyes full of hope. I want to help. My people are in danger, and I cannot let them fall into the hands of the Empire. Lucas smiled at her determination. We will do this together. We are a team now. He turned to the rest of the crew. Does anyone have ideas on how we can use Zira's technology? Ben raised his hand. What if we create a shield around the ship? If we can block their attacks, we can buy time to escape or fight back. That's a good idea, Maya replied. Zira, can your technology create a shield? Zira nodded slowly. Yes, I can create an energy field, but it will require focus and practice. I need your help to understand how it can work with your technology. Let's get started, Lucas said, feeling a surge of excitement. We will work together to make this happen. The crew quickly broke into smaller teams to gather resources and prepare for the task ahead. Zira joined Maya in the lab, where they began to experiment with her technology. Maya showed Zira the ship's systems and how they operated. Zira was fascinated by the human technology. Maya was impressed by Zira's knowledge. As they worked, Zira explained the principles behind her energy manipulation. My ancestors used this technology for peace and exploration. It can create shields, but it can also be used offensively. We must be careful not to let it fall into the wrong hands. Maya listened closely. We will use it only for defense. We want to protect your people, not harm anyone. Zira smiled, grateful for Maya's understanding. In the following days, they practiced using Zira's energy manipulation. The crew learned quickly, and Zira's confidence grew. She felt like part of the team, and her laughter filled the lab as they made progress together. One evening, as they took a break, Zero shared more stories about her home. Kalara is beautiful. The sky is always bright, and the colors are vibrant. My people love music and art. We celebrate life with joy. Maya was captivated. It sounds amazing. Wish I could see it. Zero's expression turned serious. It may not be safe anymore. The Empire has taken over many worlds. They destroy what they do not understand. Lucas entered the lab just in time to hear Zira's words. That's why we need to succeed. We cannot let that happen to your home. He felt a deep resolve to protect Zira and her people. The next day, Lucas called another meeting. We need to prepare for the possibility of an attack. Zira, how long will it take to create the energy shield? It depends on how well I can. Connect with your systems, Zira replied. I will need your help to make it work efficiently. Lucas nodded. We can work on that today. I want all of you to stay close to Zira. We need to learn as much as we can before the Empire finds us. As the crew gathered to practice, Zira watched them with pride. She felt a sense of belonging she had not felt in a long time. Together, they worked tirelessly, merging their technologies. During one of their sessions, Ben noticed something strange on the scanners. Captain, we have a ship approaching. It looks like a vessel from the Empire. Lucas' heart raced. Everyone to your positions. Sphera, can you activate the shield? Zira's expression shifted to focus. Yes, I will try. She hurried to the control panel, her hands moving swiftly as she adjusted the settings. Maya stood beside her, providing support. You can do this, Zira. Just concentrate. The crew watched nervously as the enemy ship drew closer. Lucas barked orders. Prepare for battle. We need to be ready for whatever they throw at us. As the enemy ship approached, Zira closed her eyes and focused. She felt the energy around her, connecting with the ship's systems. A soft glow began to envelop the Endeavor. Shield activated, Zira announced, her voice steady. The crew cheered, feeling a rush of hope. The enemy ship fired its weapons, but the blasts hit the shield and dissipated harmlessly. Lucas felt a surge of pride for Zira. Excellent work. Keep it steady. Zira concentrated harder, sweat beading on her forehead. It's taking a lot of energy. I need more time. Maya encouraged her. You can do it. Just hold on. Enemy ship fired again, and this time the shield held strong. Lucas could see the crew's determination. They were ready to fight for Zira and each other. Prepare to return fire, Lucas ordered. Maya, get our weapons ready. As the crew activated the ship's weapons, Zira maintained the shield. She felt a deep connection with her new friends. They were fighting for her, and she would not let them down. Target locked, Ben said, his voice steady. On your command, Captain. Lucas took a deep breath. Fire. The Endeavor's weapons fired back at the enemy ship, striking it with precision. The crew cheered again, feeling a rush of victory. But Lucas knew the battle was far from over. The enemy ship was damaged, but it was still operational. They will call for reinforcements, Lucas said. We need to act quickly. Zira, still focused on the shield, spoke up. If you can. Disable their engines. They will not be able to follow us. Good idea, Lucas replied. Maya, aim for their engines. With Zira's shield protecting them, the crew targeted the enemy ship's engines. Ben fired again, and this time, the blast hit its mark. The enemy ship shuddered and began to drift, unable to pursue. Zira felt a wave of relief wash over her. We did it, she exclaimed, her energy shield glowing brightly. Lucas smiled. Thanks to you, Zira. You saved us today. It's with the enemy. Ship neutralized. The crew took a moment to celebrate. They had fought together and won their first battle. Zira felt a warmth in her heart, knowing she had found a family among the humans. As they regrouped, Lucas turned to Zira. This is just the beginning. We'll protect your people no matter what it takes. Zira nodded, filled with gratitude. Thank you for believing in me. I will do everything I can to help. Together they prepared for the next steps in their mission. The bond between them had grown stronger, and they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. After their victory against the enemy ship, The crew of the Endeavor felt a new sense of purpose. They had successfully protected Zira, and now they were more determined than ever to help her people. Lucas gathered everyone in the briefing room to discuss their next steps. "We need to find out if Zira's crew is still alive," Lucas said, looking at Zira. "Do you have any idea where they might be?" Zira thought for a moment, her green eyes focused. "I believe they were trying to escape to a nearby planet. It is called Terrace. We should go there and see if we can find them." Maya nodded. "That makes sense. If they are still fleeing from the Empire, Taris could be a safe place for them." "Let's prepare the ship for departure," Lucas ordered. "Ben, check the navigation systems. We need a direct route to Taris." Ben quickly got to work, typing on his console. "Course plotted, Captain. We can be there in a few hours if we leave now." "Good. Zira, can you help us with communication? If we find your crew, we need to be able to talk to them," Lucas asked. Zira smiled, feeling empowered. "Yes, I can help.
Ow.
I will connect my technology to your systems. Allow us to communicate with them more easily." With everyone focused on their tasks, the Endeavor prepared for takeoff. As they launched into space, Zira felt a mix of hope and anxiety. She wanted to find her crew, but feared what they might have gone through. During the journey, Zira and Maya worked closely together in the lab. They connected Zira's communication device to the ship's systems. Zira showed Maya how to operate it, explaining how to send signals and receive messages. "This will help us reach my people," Zira said, her excitement growing. "They need to know we are coming." Maya smiled. "You are doing great, Zira. Soon, we will have them back with us." As they continued their journey, the crew took turns monitoring the ship's systems and keeping watch for any signs of danger. Lucas felt a sense of pride in his crew. They were working together, united by a common goal. After a few hours, they approached Taris. The planet was lush and green, with vast forests and blue oceans. It looked peaceful from space, but Lucas knew better than to let his guard down. "Prepare to land," Lucas said, his voice steady. "Zira, do you recognize any specific locations where your crew might be hiding?" Zira looked at the planet below, her heart racing. "There is a large valley near the northern coast. We often used it as a hiding place during our explorations. We can check there first." The crew landed the Endeavor near the valley. They gathered their gear and prepared to search for Zira's crew. Lucas assigned everyone a role. "Maya and Zira, you will stay together and work on the communication systems. Ben and I will scout the area for any signs of life." As they stepped outside, the air was fresh and filled with the sounds of nature. Zira took a deep breath, feeling a connection to the planet she had not felt in a long time. "It is beautiful here," she said, looking around. "It is," Maya agreed, "but we need to stay focused." Lucas and Ben moved deeper into the valley, scanning the area for signs of Zira's crew. They walked quietly, listening for sounds that might indicate someone was nearby. "I hope we find them," Ben said, glancing at Lucas. "They could be in trouble." Lucas nodded. "We will do everything we can to help them. We are not leaving without them." After searching for some time, they came across a small camp hidden among the trees. Lucas held up a hand to signal Ben to stop. They crouched down and observed the area. There were signs of recent activity, a fire pit and some makeshift tents. "Looks like someone has been here," Lucas whispered. "Let's check it out." They approached the camp slowly, careful not to make any noise. As they got closer, they saw a group of aliens sitting around the fire. Lucas recognized them as members of Zira's crew. Relief washed over him. "Zira," he called out, waving his arm. "We found them." Zira and Maya, who had been working on the communication systems, heard Lucas's voice and rushed to join him. When Zira saw her crew, her eyes filled with tears of joy.
"Ah, my friends,"
she cried, running toward them. The crew members looked up, surprised and happy to see Zira. They rushed to embrace her, relief washing over them. "We thought we had lost you." One of the crew members, a tall alien named Kira, exclaimed. "I was lost, but I found help," Zira replied, smiling through her tears. She turned to Lucas and Maya. "These are my friends. They are safe now." Lucas stepped forward, introducing himself. I'm Captain Lucas Reed. We came to help you escape from the Empire. Kira looked at Lucas, gratitude shining in her eyes. Thank you for saving Zira. We owe you our lives. Maya joined in, explaining their plan. We need to get you all back to the Endeavor. It is safe there, and we can discuss our next steps. The crew quickly gathered their things and prepared to leave. Zira felt a wave of happiness as she reunited with her friends. They were not alone anymore. As they walked back to the ship, Zira shared what had happened since the attack. I met these humans, and they have shown me kindness. They want to help us fight back against the Empire. Kira nodded, her expression serious. We need to be careful. The Empire will not stop coming after us. Lucas listened closely. We are ready to fight if necessary. Zira has incredible technology. That can help us. We will not let the Empire destroy your people. When they reached the Endeavor, the crew wasted no time. Zira and Maya began to explain how to use the communication systems to contact other survivors. They worked together, sharing ideas and strategies. As they connected to the ship's systems, Zira felt a sense of hope. If we can contact other ships, we can gather our people and plan a counterattack against the Empire. Maya encouraged her. We can do this. Your technology is powerful, and together, we can make a difference. The crew worked late into the night, sending out messages and organizing their next steps. Lucas felt a renewed sense of purpose. They were no longer just explorers, they were fighters for justice. Finally, after hours of work, Zira received a response. I have a signal. Other ships are in hiding near a planet called Vexor. They want to join us. Excellent, Lucas exclaimed. We need to get there quickly. Ben, prepare the ship for departure. As the crew prepared to leave Taris, Zira felt a mix of excitement and fear. They were about to face the Empire, but with the support of her friends, she felt stronger than ever. As the Endeavor lifted off, Zira looked out at the planet below. She had found her crew and a new family among the humans. Together, they were ready to take on the challenges ahead, with determination in their hearts. The crew of the Endeavor set a course for Vexor, ready to fight for freedom and peace. Zira knew that no matter what happened, they would face it together. The Endeavor flew through space. Heading toward the planet Vexor, Zira sat in the control room with Maya, watching the stars pass by. She felt a mix of excitement and worry. They were about to meet other survivors, but the threat of the Empire hung over them like a dark cloud. Lucas entered the control room, looking focused. How long until we reach Vexor? He asked. Ben, who was at the navigation console, replied, We should arrive in about 2 hours, Captain. I've been monitoring for any signs of enemy ships, but so far, it looks clear. Good. We need to keep it that way, Lucas said. He turned to Zira, his expression serious. Once we arrive, we need to be ready. The Empire will not let us gather more ships without a fight. Zira nodded, her heart racing. I understand. I will be ready to help. She felt a surge of determination. She wanted to protect her people and her new friends. As they flew closer to Vexor, the crew prepared for their arrival. Maya and Zira worked together to fine-tune the communication systems. They needed to ensure that they could reach the other ships as soon as they landed. We can broadcast a signal to let them know we are here, Maya explained. Once we land, we can use your technology to connect with them. Zira smiled, feeling proud of what they were building together. Let's do it. My people need to know they are not alone. When they finally arrived at Vexor, the planet looked different from Taris. It was rocky with deep canyons and tall mountains. Guided the Endeavor down to a flat area where they could land safely. Everyone, prepare for landing, Lucas announced. The crew secured their stations, and Zira felt a rush of adrenaline as the ship touched down. Once they were on the ground, Lucas gathered everyone for a quick briefing. We need to split into teams. Zira and Maya will stay here to set up the communication system. Ben and I will scout the area for the other ships. Let's keep our eyes open for any signs of the Empire. As they prepared to leave, Zira felt a bit nervous. What if the Empire finds us? She asked. We will be ready, Lucas replied. Stay focused and don't worry. We have each other's backs. Zira nodded, feeling comforted by his words. Lucas and Ben set off to find the other ships, while Maya and Zira stayed behind to work on the communication system. In the control room, Zira connected her device to the ship's systems. "I will send out our signal now," she said, her fingers flying over the controls. Maya watched closely, impressed by Zira's skills. "You are doing great. Once we make contact, we can gather everyone and plan our next move." As Zero sent out the signal, they waited anxiously for a response. Minutes felt like hours as they monitored the screens. "Come on," Maya whispered, tapping her foot nervously. Finally, a signal came through. Zira's eyes lit up. "I have something," a response from another ship. "Put it on screen," Maya urged, her heart racing. The screen lit up, showing a group of aliens looking relieved and hopeful. "This is Captain Roland of the ship Horizon," the alien said. "We received your signal. We are hiding near the Eastern Canyon." Zira felt tears of joy fill her eyes. "We found them," she exclaimed. "Thank you for coming to help us." Roland continued. "We have been in hiding since the attack. We need to gather everyone and find a way to fight back." Maya smiled at Zira. "We can do this. Let's get them to safety." Zero quickly responded, "We will come to meet you. Stay where you are." "Be careful," Roland warned. "The Empire is searching for us. They may have ships in the area." "Understood. We will be careful," Zira assured him. After they ended the communication, Zira turned to Maya. "We need to move quickly. They are in danger." Maya nodded. "Let's get our gear and go find them." They packed supplies and prepared to head out. Zira felt a mix of excitement and fear. She wanted to see her friends, but she knew the risks involved. As they left the ship, Zira took a deep breath, feeling the fresh air of Vexor. The ground was rocky and the landscape was rugged, but she felt determined. They walked carefully, staying alert for any signs of danger. After a short hike, they reached the Eastern Canyon. The sun was setting, casting a warm glow over the rocks. Zira felt a sense of hope as they approached the area where Roland's ship was hiding. Suddenly, Maya stopped and pointed. "Look, there's a ship." In the distance, they saw the Horizon, a small but sturdy vessel. Zira's heart raced with joy. "We did it," she exclaimed. They hurried toward the ship, and as they got closer, they saw a group of aliens waiting outside. Roland stepped forward, relief evident on his face. "Zira, came. I had to find you," Zira replied, hugging him tightly. "We are going to fight back against the Empire." Roland glanced at Maya, gratitude in his eyes. "Thank you for helping her. We need all the support we can get." Maya smiled. "We're all in this together. Let's get everyone back to the Endeavor." Zira and Roland worked quickly to gather the remaining crew members from the Horizon. They moved swiftly, knowing that time was not on their side. Zira felt a surge of energy as she saw her friends reunited. Once everyone was gathered, they made their way back to the Endeavor. As they walked, Zira shared her plan. "We have technology that can help us fight against the Empire. Together, we can create a strong defense." Roland nodded. "We have resources and fighters. We can train together and prepare for the battle." When they reached the Endeavor, Lucas and Ben were waiting for them. "You found them?" Lucas said, relief flooding his voice. "Yes, and we have a plan," Zira replied. "We can unite our forces and fight back." The crew gathered in the control room, excitement buzzing in the air. Zira stood at the front, ready to present their strategy. "We will use my technology to create shields and weapons. Together with the Horizon and its crew, we can defend ourselves against the Empire." Lucas added, "We need to act fast. The more time we give the Empire, the more prepared they will be. We need to train and strengthen our defenses." Everyone nodded, feeling a sense of purpose. They were no longer just survivors. They were fighters ready to take back their freedom. For the next few days, the crew of the Endeavor and the Horizon worked together. Zira taught them how to use her technology, while Roland and Lucas trained the crew in tactics and strategy. Zira felt a sense of pride as she watched everyone come together, They were building something powerful, a united front against the Empire. Their determination was inspiring, and Zira felt hope for the first time in a long while. But beneath the excitement, Zira knew the danger was still real. The Empire would not give up easily. It would have to be ready for anything. As they trained, Zira often thought of her home. She wanted to protect it and her people. With the help of her new friends, she felt strong enough to fight for what was right. After days of preparation, they were finally ready. Lucas gathered everyone for one last briefing before they set out. We will make our stand against the Empire. Together, we are stronger. We fight for our homes and our freedom. Zira looked around at her friends, feeling grateful for their support. No matter what happened next, she knew they would face it together, with a united purpose. They launched the Endeavor and set their course for the Empire's stronghold. The time had come to stand and fight. The Endeavor flew through the vastness of space, heading toward the Empire's stronghold. The crew was tense but focused. They had trained hard, and now they were ready to face the enemy. Zira stood at the control panel, her heart racing as she monitored the ship's systems. "Captain, we are approaching the stronghold," Ben announced, his voice steady. "The Empire's ships are everywhere." Lucas nodded, gripping the edge of his seat. "All right, everyone, this is it. We stick to the plan. Zira, are you ready to deploy the energy shield?" Zira took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the moment. "Yes, I will activate it when we get closer." Maya stood beside her, offering support. "You've got this, Zira. We are all counting on you." As they got closer to the stronghold, the crew could see the enemy ships patrolling around the base. Dark and menacing, they moved in formation, ready for any attack. Lucas knew they had to act quickly. "Prepare for battle stations," he ordered. "We will need to be alert." "Roland, how many ships do you think we're up against?" Roland studied the radar. At least 5 large ships and several smaller ones. They look ready for a fight. Lucas felt a surge of adrenaline. "We need to create a distraction. Maya, can you help Zira with the shield? Ben and I will take care of the enemy ships." "Understood," Maya replied, moving to assist Zira. "Let's make sure the shield is strong enough to hold against their attacks." Zira focused on the controls, feeling the energy around her. She connected with the ship's systems, drawing on the power she had learned to manipulate. "The shield is ready," she said, her voice steady. "I can hold it. For a while, but I will need help." "Just focus on keeping it up as long as you can," Lucas replied. He turned to Ben. "Let's engage the enemy." The Endeavor moved into position, and Lucas took a deep breath. "Here we go." He activated the ship's weapons and fired. At the nearest enemy ship, the blast hit, and the enemy ship shook under the impact. "Nice shot," Ben cheered, his hands steady on the controls, but the enemy quickly retaliated, firing back at the Endeavor. Lucas felt the ship shudder as the blasts hit the shield. Zira concentrated hard, her forehead glistening with sweat. "The shield is holding," she said, but her voice was strained. "Keep it up, Zira." Maya encouraged her. "We believe in you." As the battle raged on, Lucas and Ben worked together, dodging enemy fire and returning fire whenever they could. They were a well-oiled machine, working in sync as they took down enemy ships one by one. 2 down. Ben shouted, excitement in his voice. But the Empire was relentless. More enemy ships joined the fight, and Lucas could see their numbers growing. "We need to break through their defenses," he said, determination in his eyes. "Zira can." "You push the shield to its limits?" Zira nodded, her focus unwavering. "We'll try." She poured all her energy into the shield, feeling the power surge through her. The shield glowed brighter, a protective barrier around the Endeavor. "Now," Lucas yelled. "Let's break through." The shield at full strength, the Endeavor charged forward, weaving through enemy fire. Lucas aimed for the heart of the stronghold, where he could see the main control center. "Ben, prepare to fire at that control tower," Lucas commanded. Ben locked onto the target. "Ready when you are, Captain. On my mark. Now," Lucas shouted. The blast hit the control tower directly, causing a massive explosion. The enemy ships faltered, and Lucas seized the moment. Push forward. We can take them down now. Zira felt the energy of the shield beginning to wane. I can't hold it much longer, she warned. Just a little longer, Zira, Maya urged. We're almost there. The crew of the Endeavor fought valiantly, taking down more enemy ships. With every blast, Zira felt a mix of fear and hope. She wanted to protect her new friends, but feared running out of energy. Suddenly, the Empire's ships began to retreat. One by one, they turned and fled. Lucas couldn't believe it. We did it. They're running, he shouted. Zira let out a breath she didn't realize she had been holding. I can't believe it. Maya smiled broadly. We did it together. Just then, Lucas's expression changed. Wait, we need to check the stronghold for any remaining threats. Ben nodded, his eyes serious. Let's make sure they can't regroup. The crew moved cautiously toward the stronghold, the atmosphere tense. It won the battle, but the fight was not over yet. Zira felt a mix of hope and wariness as they entered the base. Inside, the stronghold was dark and quiet. They moved carefully through the corridors, weapons ready. Zira used her technology to scan for any signs of life. There are still a few. Ships inside, she said. We should be careful. Lucas led the way, determined to finish what they had started. Let's find out if there are any survivors or anyone who needs our help. As they ventured deeper, they found a group of aliens trapped in a room. They looked frightened but relieved to see Zira and the crew. Zira, one of them cried. You made it. Are you all okay? Zira asked, rushing to their side. We're here to rescue you, the group nodded, gratitude shining in their eyes. We thought we would never escape this place. Lucas stepped forward. We will. Get you out. Follow us. With the group in tow, they made their way back through the stronghold. Zira felt a sense of purpose. She was not just fighting for herself anymore. She was fighting for her people. As they reached the exit, they suddenly heard alarms blaring. They're on to us. Ben shouted, We need to move. It's rushing outside. The crew hurried to the Endeavor. Lucas quickly contacted the ship. Prepare for evacuation. We have survivors. The ship's doors opened, and the crew helped the rescued aliens aboard.
Out there, yes?
Zira felt a rush of relief as everyone made it inside. Get us out of here, Lucas ordered. The Endeavor lifted off just as enemy ships returned, firing at them. Zira concentrated on the shield, using every ounce of energy she had left to protect her friends. The ship shook as blasts hit the barrier, but it held strong. Hold on. Lucas yelled as he maneuvered the ship through enemy fire. With Zira's shield holding, they broke free from the stronghold's atmosphere and into space. And the crew cheered, feeling the weight of victory. We did it, Maya shouted, hugging Zira. You were amazing. Zira smiled, feeling overwhelmed with joy and gratitude. We all did it together. As they flew away from the stronghold, Lucas looked back at the chaos behind them. We've struck a blow against the Empire today. They will think twice. Before attacking us again, Roland, sitting near Zira, added, and we have our people back. We can rebuild and fight for our freedom. Zira felt a sense of hope for the future. They had come together as a team, and now they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. As they traveled through space, Zira looked around at her new family. She had found a place where she belonged, and she knew they would always stand. Together, no matter what happened next, they would face it as one, with determination in their hearts. The crew of the Endeavor flew toward a brighter future, ready to fight for peace and freedom in the galaxy.